Okay, today's January 6th, 2026. We're going to go ahead and call the Schertz City Council regular session to order. We're going to go ahead and begin with an opening prayer and pledge of allegiance to the flag and of the United States and to the state of Texas. Councilmember Hayward, if you'll lead us in prayer, please. If everybody would please rise.
Let us bow. Heavenly Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus, seeking your presence and wisdom as we gather to serve this community. As we begin this new year, grant us unity of spirit and purpose. Help us work together in one accord, setting aside any personal agendas for the good of those that we represent. Give us discernment to make wise decisions, courage to do what is right, and integrity in all our actions. Where there are disagreements, let there be honest and productive discussions. Where questions arise about proper authority, give us humble hearts to trust in the counsel you have provided. Lord, we stand on your promise that no weapons formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us is in judgment shall be condemned. This is our heritage as your servants. Protect this council from any force that would seek to bring division or false accusations. Let your truth prevail. We'll lift our city staff and first responders that serve the city each day. Put them in your protection and keep them safe. Let them carry out their duties the way they know best. We know that they are typically the experts, and we have to look to them when we need advice. Bless them and their families. As we move forward into 2026, protect our ability to serve effectively and bless our community of pure hearts and right motives. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you for that wonderful prayer, Councilmember Hayward. We're going to go ahead and begin tonight's meeting with the employee introductions. We'll go ahead and begin with Fleet Services.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce Fidel Montoya, new fleet supervisor. Lives in San Antonio with his wife and 3 kids, all born and raised there. He's a proud graduate of South San High School, values God, family, and community, and is honored to be introduced this evening to you guys.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Looking forward to grow with the city and just growing with the city. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Very glad to have you. IT.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Williams. I'd like to introduce Leonardo Brown, the newest member of the IT department. He started working for the city of Schertz on December 1st, 2025. In this role, he supports the city by resolving technology and audio-video issues. Originally from North Chicago, Illinois, Leonardo grew up as an Air Force brat who always migrated towards civil service and technology. While in high school, he was dual enrolled at the Greene County Career Center of Xenia, Ohio, where he was able to graduate with his high school diploma and a certificate in digital media. While in college at Lindenwood University, he was one of the first pioneers of their design thinking program, earning a certificate in the field after a rigorous program on troubleshooting and resolving complex issues. Graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Leonardo focused on business, digital media, and technology. Shortly after, Leonardo started a career in corrections, earning more certificates in emergency management. And after living through a riot and many close calls, he left the field to serve the community another way. After moving back to Texas from Phoenix, Arizona, Leo started working at USAA where he met his wife, Jewel Brown. Together they have one son and will be raising their family within the city of Schertz, where they feel a sense of community and belonging. Jewel is also drawn to serving the community through the field of education where she works as a substitute teacher. In his spare time, which he doesn't have much of anymore, Leo spends his time with family, games, he builds computers, does videography and photography, makes music, designs, reads, does research on anything and everything as he loves to learn how the world works. He is a big fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, as his father's side of the family is from Kansas City, Missouri. Speaking of his father, Joshua Brown just retired after serving the country for 20 years in the Air Force, doing a number of things he's not allowed to talk about in the world of IT. His mother, Marie Brown, is currently working on a master's in psychology and is pursuing a career in helping people who suffer from mental health issues. At the end of the day, the Browns are very happy to be here and will serve the city to the best of their ability.
Thank you. I just want to say that I am honored and very grateful to be able to serve the people of the great city of Schertz. And I also just wanted to say as well that to my team, to the council, and to the great city of Schertz, that while I am here and blessed to be here with you all, that you will have my best efforts and best performance, and I will serve the city with the integrity that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Okay, at this time we have Parks and Recreation.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Williams. I have the pleasure tonight to introduce our two new ladies that are supervising over at the Senior Center. They've already been here for a couple months now and have been crushing it. Already planned and went on their first field trip, jumped right in teaching classes like day 2. So they're in full swing already. First, I'd like to introduce our Senior Center Supervisor, Samantha Raby. Samantha Raby is a proud Texas native with deep roots in the community, growing up just down the road in Universal City. She has devoted her career to public service and strengthening community connections. She brings more than 20 years of nonprofit leadership experience to her role as the Senior Center Supervisor for the city of Schertz. Samantha spent 17 years with the YMCA of Greater San Antonio, serving in multiple leadership roles. Most recently, she served 3 years as Senior Director for the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio, where she oversaw operations across 17 sites and supported thousands of youth and families. Throughout her career, she has remained passionate about community impact, building relationships, and creating meaningful experiences for people of all ages. Samantha now lives in Seguin with her husband and their 2 miniature Dachshunds, who keep them both entertained and on their toes. She is excited to bring her experience and energy to Schertz and looks forward to helping grow a strong, inclusive, and connected senior community.
Hi, thanks for the warm welcome. I'm super excited to be here. I'm so excited for all the amazing memories we're going to make with our senior community, so thank you for this opportunity.
And next we have Amy Stevens, our recreation specialist. Amy Stevens is joining us from Pennsylvania as our recreation specialist. She moved to Texas not only to join our team, but to be close to her nieces in San Antonio. She lives here in Schertz with her dog and 2 cats and is enjoying the sunshine and short commute. Amy has a master's degree in dance and a background in retail banking. She has been teaching fitness classes at the Senior Center and is enjoying her time getting to know the members.
Hi everyone, so nice to see you all tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity here at the Senior Center because I am loving my time here with them and getting to know everyone, loving to work with Samantha and everyone at the Parks team, getting to dance a lot at work, which is awesome, and I'm looking forward to everything we have coming up. Thank you.
Thank you all very much to the both of you. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on with police communications.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, City Manager, and our city staff. I'm Lieutenant LaCour, and I'm pleased to announce some of our newest hires as our telecommunicators. They are our unsung heroes. They're the first ones that get the call. So I'm pleased to introduce you to Ms. Tristan Claycomb. She has been with us and well in her training. She started in November of last year. She is born and raised in Manatee County, Florida. She is married to her husband. She has 2 children, 2 boys, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So not only is she busy at work, she's busy at home. She also told me that she loves kayaking at Canyon Lake, and she loves butterflies. Ms. Tristan Claycomb.
Thank you for having me tonight. I am very grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to building many years here with you guys. Thank you.
Next, we have Amanda Ritzenthaler. She started in December of this last year. She was born in California and graduated in San Antonio at Brandeis High School. She's always wanted to be a part of law enforcement or in the police department type community, and currently attending college, working on her bachelor's degree in criminal justice. She lives with her mom and 2 sisters in the San Antonio area, and they are here with us tonight, so welcome them. And she says she loves her German Shepherd and her 2 cats. Miss Amanda Ritzenthaler.
Thank you. I'm excited and proud to be working for the city of Schertz. Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Miss Raven Hopkins, who also started in November of last year. Her previous employment was in customer service, so I thought that was quite fitting that the call service that she takes now is still in customer service. She was born in the Philippines and raised between Hawaii and Japan. So a couple of interesting notes. She was evacuated the first time as a military brat due to a volcano. She was evacuated again due to an earthquake tsunami. She lives with her boyfriend of almost 3 years. She has 4 dogs and 2 geckos. No human children yet, but she loves them none the same. She is a avid moviegoer and tries to get about 100 movies a year. I told her about the new State of the State movie that's going to be coming out, and hopefully she'll attend to that one. Miss Raven Hopkins.
Thank you for the opportunity. It is truly an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. And last, we have purchasing.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Williams. I'm here tonight to introduce our new purchasing specialist, Christopher Keene. He's coming to us from Kansas City, Missouri, where he was born and raised, and currently resides in Helotes, Texas. He has a background in public service with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, where he served as an executive assistant for the CFO, the CIO, as well as the lead purchaser for the Financial Resource Division. He led purchasing activities, ensuring compliance with state regulations and policies, vendor performance reviews, contract reviews, inventory management, and ensured fiscal responsibility. In his personal time, he is an Eagle Scout and volunteers time with various organizations, including the Texas Master Naturalist Program, the Texas State Park Ambassador Alumni Network, and the San Antonio Botanical Gardens. So if I can keep our Parks and Rec Department from stealing him, I'm expecting great things from him.
Well, good evening, Council and Mayor and the City Manager. It's a great honor to work for the City of Schertz, and I'm looking forward to our partnership together and to getting to know the citizens of this city. So far, everyone has welcomed me with open arms, and I am so proud to be part of the Purchasing and Human Resources team. So with that, thank you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. To all our new employees, on behalf of the Schertz City Council and the City of Schertz, we welcome you, and we look forward to the great contributions that you will make to the City of Schertz. We can give them another round of applause, please. All right, next up, we have city events and announcements. Mr. Brian James.
Thank you, Mayor. This Saturday, I know everybody on council's excited. We have the polar bear plunge. So Saturday, January 10th, we'll see all council out there, I would assume, getting in that cold water at Pickerel Park at 9:30 a.m. At 703 Oak Street. You can find information on our website. I think temperatures are supposed to be in the 40s outside, so that always makes that a good time. City will be closed on Martin Luther King Day, in honor of Martin Luther King Day, January 19th. Our next council meeting will be back here on January 20th.
Thank you. Next up, we have our city manager, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple of announcements. We do have a ribbon cutting coming up this Friday, actually, at Dave's Hot Chicken, and it'll be the 9th I'm sorry, I don't have the time handy, but it is this Friday, and at 11 a.m. Thank you, Maggie. And we're excited. I had a chance, speaking of the state of the city, I had an opportunity to eat some of the Dave's Hot Chicken Reaper nuggets, and they're pretty good, but they're pretty hot. So, also, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to all our folks that worked on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day on the holiday. A lot of people don't realize that when we're all taking a holiday, there are quite a few of our staff members that are out there on the streets keeping us safe. And it is good to see some of the folks from Fleet that were here today and Scott in the back. We do have a little thing I call the City Manager's Fitness Challenge, and we play basketball on Monday night with the employees. So there are a lot of sore people and sore legs in here. We had a big crowd last night. So kudos to those guys. And we had a few promotions this month, and really happy for these folks, see them climbing up the ladder in our organization. Lisa Locken, she moved up from sanitarian to our neighborhood services manager. Ismail Pardo, he was promoted from wastewater operator 2 to wastewater crew chief. And then Trevor Walker was promoted from drainage worker to drainage crew chief. Rolando Pena was promoted from police officer to sergeant. And then Irma Sanchez promoted from crossing guard to utility billing specialist. So really proud of all those folks and glad to see them move up. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. It's always nice to see our employees always being promoted within the city. So thank you for that. I don't have any announcements, but I do want to wish everybody Happy New Year. Thank you for being here this evening. It always special when everybody comes out to hear what's going on within the city. So thank y'all for being here tonight. We're going to go ahead and move on to hearing of residents. This time is set aside for any persons wishing to address the city council. Each person should fill out the speaker and register prior to the meeting. Presentation should be limited to no more than 3 minutes. When you come up, if you'll please state your name and your address. Councilmember Davis, do we have anybody wishing to speak?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. First up is Billy Langhouse.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members, the City Manager, the City Attorney, and the City Secretary. What started out as something that should be pretty simple has become something that is more, every day becoming more complicated. And that is this. On December 8th, 2025, Schertz City Council member Allison Haywood filed an application to run for County Commissioner of the Guadalupe County, Texas Precinct 3. The application was accepted, and the candidate's name has been posted to appear on the ballot for the March 3rd, 2026 election. The moment this happened and the announcement was posted, the city council position held by this individual became vacant. No one has the authority to reverse that. The candidate no longer has the authority to take her name off the ballot and come back to the seat. The seat has been vacated. The term left in the councilman's term is more than 23 months, which remains, which is way more than 1 year and 30 days. There is no holdover rule that can apply here because the two positions are in conflict of each other, and therefore no holdover is applicable in this case. It's totally against state law. In this case, the city council is no longer a legally constituted body because you have someone sitting up here that is no longer a member of the city council. which creates other problems that will have to be remedied by the state if they cannot be remedied here. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what is wiser, to do things legally or to be publicly reprimanded by the state later down the line? Please give this your utmost consideration, honor the law, and do the right thing. I believe in Matthew chapter 10, verse 33, where it says, "Whoever denies me before men, I will also deny before my Father who is in heaven." And as for this body, I prayed to the Lord and asked him to guide me in something to say to each one of you. I opened the Bible to Proverbs chapter 28, verses 9 and 10. 9, if one turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. Whoever misleads the upright into an evil way will fall into his own pit, but the blameless will have a goodly inheritance. Thank you for listening. I hope you will do the right thing. This council member should no longer be sitting on the council. You're putting yourselves in jeopardy here. Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Davis, do we have anybody else wishing to speak?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, next up is Mr. Henry Farmer.
Good evening. I live up by the Cypress Point development, or I actually live in it. And I'm here about basically this firework ordinance that you posted on your website as before, I guess, January 31st or January 1st, December 31st, January 1st. And I, like some other veterans, suffer from PTSD and things of that nature. And one year, my neighborhood sounded like a war zone. I had a neighbor around the corner shooting off mortars during the night up until 1:30 in the morning. I've called the police before, and your police officers come out, and the guy basically laughed in my face and said, "Well, what the hell do you want me to do?" And this is that was a direct quote from one of your officers. If you have ordinances that you have no plan on enforcing, take them off the books. It's a waste of your time, my time, and any law-abiding citizen's time. I don't understand. I'm at a loss that you have it on there to begin with and you don't even enforce it. My other one is unleashed animals running around. I've contacted animal control, reported them, reported people who I know let their animals run loose. Animal control comes out, talks to them for 5 minutes. Person lets the dog out. Right in front of him, your officer does nothing. Just goes back to his vehicle and leaves. It's pretty useless. If your people don't want to do their job, find somebody that will. You know, you're the mayor, you should be enforcing that. Don't you talk to your police chief? You tell him when you're unhappy with the way things are? Are you mad when he doesn't do his job? Or do you just let it go? And my last thing is, I'm not sure who I need to speak to in regards to the city regarding this, about speed bumps and installation. If anybody can point me that direction, I'd appreciate the heck out of it. That's pretty much it. I'm just here to address those issues. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next up is Dana Eldridge. Sir.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing tonight? My name is Dana Eldridge, 2628 Gallant Fox Drive, Schertz, Texas, 78108. I'm not sure if the First Lady lives in the city of Schertz. I didn't hear an address on that, but I'm here to talk about item 11 on our agenda tonight, the workshop that's going to be held with all of you discussing Place 6 vacancy. This is at least the third council meeting where this situation has been brought forward. The first time it was, city attorney responded to it and read a ruling by the Attorney General of the state of Texas, I believe was what he read, that we are not in violation by allowing Place 6 to sit in a position until further notice. I don't understand why we're going to have a workshop. Maybe it's to discuss the fact that you need to come together and say, this is how it's going to be. We have taken several things out of the city charter. Mr. Davis also did that. I helped do that last time because of rules laid down by the state. State overrides what the city does in their charter. I don't understand why we keep bringing this up. I think there's some underlying things going on. I'm not sure what they are, but they need to quit. They need to cease and desist. All they're doing is trying to be divisive in our city. We had enough problem with that in this last election. I'd like to see us start moving forward, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next up is Jonathan Marquez.
Jonathan Marquez, 5817 St. Andrews, Schertz, Texas, 78108. I want to begin by saying Happy New Year to everybody. I want to let you guys know my sidewalk situation. I will not be going away. I will be doing my civic duty at the YMCA, coaching for the kids in 2 leagues. So I'm not going away, keeping my eye on you, but I just won't be here. And while I'm here, I can't even I can't even light a sparkler in my neighborhood without the police coming. So that's unfortunate, but they do a great job. And I don't know if you were here last time, but Schertz is among the best in the business. And I also want to come out here to give Chief Lowry his props. I appreciate that. The police have always been good. And then I don't know where this guy lives in Schertz, because my dogs, I've got ticketed 3 times for my dogs being animals at large, animal not filing, animal not neutered. It's crazy. So you guys might want to focus on that neighborhood. But Northcliffe is good. I'm well. You guys have a happy new year. Congratulations. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Next up is Maggie Titterington.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. Busy month. We have kicked off January full force, and we have some events that are coming up. I know we've already mentioned about Dave's Hot Chicken, which I cannot believe you ate the Reaper. We actually watched a couple of videos, Paul Gorman and I, and we put something together, and that is insane. Insane. I'm not doing that. January 14th, we also have another ribbon cutting, and this is for Quality Urgent Care. They're actually celebrating their 16th anniversary being in the city of Schertz, but they're a brand new chamber member, so we're gonna give them a ribbon cutting, doggone it. On the 20th, we have our first chamber luncheon of the year. We're still taking RSVPs for that, and it's going to be the State of the Chamber, where we talk about the accomplishments of last year, as well as the new programs and initiatives that we have for 2026. And a very special presentation is going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not there, you're going to miss it in the very beginning. But we're in partnership with one of our chamber members, and there's going to be an event. So that's all I'm going to say. On the 28th, we have our first business education class. It is on AI, and it's going to be talking about practical uses, tools, demystifying what it exactly is. It's going to be 2 sessions, 1.5 hour, and then there's a break in another 1.5 hour, and it allows for people to come in and get what they want to get and leave or stay for the whole thing, but you can register online for that. 30th is Coffee at the Chamber. It's going to be at the Chamber House on Schertz Parkway, and of course the 31st is the Living Well Health and Home Show, totally free to our area residents. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we want to thank Methodist Hospital Northeast, City of Schertz, Baptist Neighborhood Hospital, and Schertz Cibolo Emergency Clinic for partnering with us on it. Very last but not least, ta-da! You should be getting this in the mail. This is your community guide for 2026. Has the events for Schertz, Cibolo, and Selma in it. Schertz information, contacts, chamber events, and of course, we don't have a phone book anymore, but in the back is a little phone book with listings and websites of chamber members, locations and stuff, so keep an eyeball out for that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next up is Anna Bruno.
Hello, good evening. My name's Anna Bruno. I live in 3701 Columbia Drive. I mostly came today for it's a two-parter. First, I want to say thank you to the City of Schertz Police Department, their traffic division. We were having a problem with speeding, and I reached out to the department, and they listened to our concerns, and they have been making an effort to come out and try to address it. So I do want to say thank you to the police department. The main concern that I'm coming in today, and I printed out the email, I only did 4, so I apologize. Can I give this to you right now? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I'm mostly coming to you because I live on Columbia, and at this point, it is no secret that Columbia is in a horrible state of disrepair. I have been living in this neighborhood. I live by North Cliff. I live on Fairways of Scenic Hills since 2022. And I've become involved with the HOA, so a lot of folks come up to me with their concerns. And Columbia, unfortunately, like even in front of my house, I'm having a sinkhole starting to form. I thought I was the only one having similar concerns until folks started coming up to me. They're like, hey, I don't like driving on Columbia because I just don't feel comfortable. And since I walk the road every day, I made a lot of notations in my head. I even took photos and emailed your junior engineer. This is all right here in the email. And some areas you can see where the drainage is literally starting to emerge from the ground. There are some points where it's about a foot depression, some of them 6 inches off the ground. So it's becoming kind of unsafe to drive to that area. The gentleman that I spoke to, he did mention that you guys are tracking that is in the future planning. However, there was no funding for it or like for the 2026 year. I didn't want to mess it up again where I printed the email exactly what he said. So I'm just here to just kind of ask if you have a moment, please come out to Columbia, take a look at it, and please discuss it at least for the year for 2026 or 2027 to maybe address the road. It is degrading really, really fast. And that's it. That's all I got. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Give this to them. Yep.
Last up is Mr. Robert Sheridan.
Greeting Mayor, City Council members, City leadership, members here, and church residents. I'm Robert Sheridan. I stay at 1024 Kiana Place here at Schertz. It appears I may have made the runoff, it sounds like. Just a little bit about me. I was born at Woodford Hall, for some who may know. Born here in San Antonio, Texas, and first military assignment at Woodford Hall. So I'm a 20-year veteran, military, deployed around the world to include Iraq. For nearly 20 years, I've been helping bring youth sports games and tournaments to the Schertz Soccer Complex, supporting local economic impact and community connections. I've also served on the Parks and Recreation Board for almost 10 years, working to improve the shared spaces our families here at Schertz enjoy. As a former federal government contracting officer, I recently retired, fully retired now. As an contracting officer, I manage multi-million-dollar contracts, overseeing them and partnering with senior military leaders and business executives to deliver results with accountability and sound planning. I have 6 kids. My wife, retired Major Sabrina Sheridan. We, of course, reside here at Schertz. We have 6 kids. 3 of them graduated here at Clemens as student athletes. And I'm proud of my roots here, the work that we've done here, and we continue to leave a good footprint to build together. Excited for what's ahead. It's always been about the community, and it always will be the community. I'm running for city council, and I hope to make some changes and work with y'all as a team member. So with that, I look forward for the support, and hopefully I get the votes from Schertz residents, just to let them know that I will be, if I'm elected, I will serve with integrity and honesty and serve as a team member. Thank you for your time. Have a great evening. And Happy New Year's to all of you. And look forward to your leadership for 2026. Excited to see what y'all bring to the table. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
All right, do we have any other residents out there that are wanting to speak? Okay, having none, we'll go ahead and move forward to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is considered self-explanatory and will be enacted by the council with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless they are removed from the consent agenda upon the request of the mayor or any council member. Do I have any council member wanting to remove anything from the consent agenda? Having none, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Hayward and a second by Councilmember Watson. Can I get everybody to go ahead and vote? Can I get the votes published, please? All right, having 6 yeas and no nays, motion passes. We're going to go ahead and move towards a discussion and action items of Resolution 26-R-008, order runoff election for Council Place 7. Can I get Sheila Edmondson, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. Tonight I bring forward Resolution 26-R-008, a resolution for Council to order a runoff election for the unexpired term of Place 7. On December 30th, Council canvassed the December 20th special election for Place 7. The canvass and tabulations of votes cast at the December 20th, 2025 special election reflect that no candidate for the Council member Place 7 received sufficient votes to be elected to City Council. Therefore, City Council must order a runoff election. For the runoff election, the top 2 candidates who received the most votes were Mr. John D. Carbone with 172 votes, and Dr. Robert L. Sheridan III with 166 votes. Working with the state as well as the county, the runoff election will be Saturday, January 31st. Early voting will start January 14th and run through January 27th, 2026. Also planned would be no weekend voting, no voting on MLK Day, January 19th. Let's see, on actual election day, if council orders, Saturday the 31st, the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If everything goes as planned, we will get totals back from the ballot board and we'll be able to canvass that election on February 9th. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Do I have a motion from the council?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Hayward, seconded by Councilmember Watson. Can I get everybody to vote, please? Can I get the votes published? Having 6 yeas, no nays, motion passes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to public hearing. Item 10, ordinance 26-S-001. Conduct a public hearing and consider a request to rezone approximately 44 acres of land from general business district to approximately 22 acres as single-family residential district, R2, and approximately 22 acres as single-family residential district, R6, generally located approximately 1,412 feet west of the intersection of Eckerd Road and Green Valley Road, also known as Guadalupe County Property Identification Number 67959 and 64006, City of Schertz, Guadalupe County, Texas. Do I have Ms. Marquez?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Williams. Ordinance 26-S-001, a rezone request for 44 acres to R2 and R6, Daisy Marquez, Senior Planner. Here's the subject property outlined in green. It is located along Schwab Road and Green Valley Road. To the south, you do see it is outside of our city limits. That's the city of Civilo. To the north and to the west, we have the Homestead PDD residential development. And then to the east, we have the Ackerman development. The property is currently zoned general business district, and it is currently undeveloped. We did send out 47 public notices on November 19th. We received one in favor and one in opposition, and we posted a public hearing notice in the San Antonio Express prior to the city council hearing. The school district was notified, as we regularly do, and 2 signs were placed on the property. And the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing for this item on December 3rd. So again, the applicant is requesting a zone change for the 44 acres, but they're requesting a split, 22 acres as single-family residential district R2, and the other 22 as single-family residential district R6. And essentially, Schwab Road would be that dividing line for the property. Here are the dimensional and development standards for what's currently there versus what is being proposed. Again, general business district is commercial uses. It requires at least 10,000 square feet, and the applicant is proposing single-family residential, which would allow single-family homes and parks and playgrounds. So staff looks towards the criteria of approval listed in UDC section 2154D. This subject area is designated as complete neighborhood in our future land use map. So this means different types of housing, local neighborhood commercials, supporting uses. The proposed R2 and R6 are similar to these existing uses and zoning in the area, thus it implements the policies and the intent of the future land use map. So the applicant is proposing R2 and R6, which are 70 by 120 lots and 60 by 120 lots. This is compatible with what's existing in the immediate area. The Homestead PDD does currently offer homes immediately adjacent to these lots that are 55 by 120 and 65 by 120, and also townhomes. And then the Ackerman subdivision consists of R2 zoning, which is part of what the applicant is proposing tonight. And as part of the zone change application, the applicant did submit a traffic summary, and our engineering department reviewed it and came to the conclusion that the proposed residential zoning is less intense than the existing general business district zoning. And again, whether these proposed changes will be consistent and appropriate with existing uses in the immediate area, the applicant is proposing uses that are already allowed within this area, so they're very much consistent with what's existing there. And then 4, whether other factors are deemed relevant and important, staff has ensured that the proposed zone change meets the UDC requirements. The school district was notified of the zone change, and fire, EMS, and police were notified. EMS did not have a specific concern about the zone change request, but they did want to note that an increase in population will increase call volumes, which will require more efforts to cover the added call volumes. And due to the proposed zone change implementing the policies of the comprehensive plan future land use map and the compatibility with the uses in the immediate area, staff recommends approval of ordinance 26S01. And the Planning and Zoning Commission made a recommendation for this item on December 3rd, 2025, with a unanimous vote to City Council.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open it up to our public hearing. Do we have any residents that would like to speak on behalf of ordinance 26-S-001? Council members, does anybody have any further discussion on this before we go for a vote? Okay, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing, having no residents wanting to speak. Do we have any council members wanting to speak? Nope. Oh, Paul?
Just question on, is there other areas in that PDD that has general business, or was this the only area that was kind of zoned out for that?
So this is separate from the homestead development, and this is independent. The homestead development does have commercial development along I-35 as part of their PDD. So this is kind of in that southern area, getting into the more rural parts.
Okay, so it was outside of the
Yes,
PDD.
sir, correct.
Okay, Councilmember Ben Guerrero.
Can you go back a couple slides? Go to 4. 4, slide 4. Right there. Is there a reason why you guys are doing R2 on the left side and R6 on the right, not the other way?
Mm-hmm. So we wanted to make sure we didn't concentrate all of the smaller zoning adjacent to the homestead that has smaller residential lots. So for example, over here in this purple area, to the south is where the townhomes would be for homestead. So they wanted to mix it up by proposing a larger lot and then putting a smaller lot adjacent to where there's already larger lots. So they wanted to provide a diversity of housing instead of it all being the same.
So in other words, looking at the spacing. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, having none, can I get a motion?
Move to approve ordinance 26S001.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Davis, and I have a second by Councilmember Hayward. If I can get everybody to cast the votes. Can I get the votes published, please? All right, having 6 yeas, no nays, motion passes. All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and move into our workshop for item 11, discuss City Council Place 6 vacancy. If I can get Sheila Edmondson. Oh.
Close.
Mr. D.
I'm not Sheila Edmondson, just in case there's any confusion, but Sheila is going to handle the second part of this, which is going to detail the calling of the special election that will be necessary to fill the place that's been vacated. Councilmember Watson and I have had some conversations, and she felt it was best to just kind of clarify things. We heard that there's still some misinformation out there. Earlier in the meeting, we heard that, some misunderstandings as to how this actually works. So I'm hoping I can clarify some of that. You recall at the last meeting, I handed out an AG opinion. Well, I sent it to Sheila and she shared it with the council that kind of walks through this. But I want to take a step back just really for the benefit of your constituents and make sure that we walk through this. There's a hierarchy of authority for state and local government. So we're going to leave the federal government out of this, thank goodness, but we're just going to cover a few things with the hierarchy within the state. So your Constitution is at the top of that hierarchy of authority, followed by your statutes, and then your city charter, then your city code, and then your city council policies. And that's going to be important as we go through this because there's been some confusion or some conversations about, well, our policies that we have as a city council say X, Y, Z. Well, those are adopted by resolution. They're the lowest authority that we have here. They're not binding law. above that, even the city code and the city charter, are not going to overrule or supplant any authority that is higher. So the Constitution controls on all of this. And there have been multiple cases and Attorney General opinions that have interpreted how that constitutional provision is applied. And we're going to walk through that. As far as applying those authorities, the Supreme Court authority is the highest, followed by your appellate court authority, followed by the Attorney General opinions, which are advisory in nature, but they take into account all of those cases. So I'm going to paraphrase some questions. I've received several questions. I'm going to paraphrase those questions and cover them, okay? The first one is, what is the resign to run provision in the Texas Constitution? At this point, I think we all understand that it is Article 16, Section 65. And when you first read that article, it clearly says that it applies to certain district or county officers and how they automatically resign from office upon announcing their candidacy or becoming a candidate for another office, right? But although the list of officers in 65 does not include city council members, Article 11, Section 11 specifically says in the same Constitution, right, that officers of a home rule municipality that hold a term longer than 2 years, which you do here in Schertz, you have 3-year terms, are subject to that same section. So the section that applies to state officials in this separate article of the Constitution, Article 11, is made to apply to home rule municipal council members who have terms longer than 2 years. So there's no doubt and no question that the resign to run provisions apply here in the city of Schertz. So then the question becomes, when does that provision, when is it invoked? And there's 2 times when it is invoked. 2 things that can trigger that provision. One is when an officer announces their candidacy. And there's a plethora of AG opinions as to what constitutes announcing a candidacy. So even before you file, you can have invoked this provision if you have announced your candidacy publicly, if you've taken certain steps to announce that and you followed through on those. And then the other provision is when an officer in fact becomes a candidate. So you in fact become a candidate at the time you file that paperwork. So when you go in and you file for that second office, you have effectively invoked the resign to run provision of the Constitution. And so that was what occurred here. So we had a Councilmember Hayward, who went in and filed to run for an office at the county commissioner's office. At the moment she filed that, she has vacated her seat here. Okay, so I don't think that's in dispute. I don't think Councilmember Hayward disagrees with that. That is what has happened. Now, how may a vacancy that is created by that automatic resignation be filled? Remember, we talked about that difference between 2 years and 3 years. If you have 2-year terms, there can be an appointment made, right, by the council. In fact, your city charter, it anticipates that. It talks about when there's less than a certain amount of time left on that term, a year and 30 days, you can do that, or if you only had 2-year terms, you could do that. So with 3-year terms, if there's less than a year and 30 days left, you can make an appointment. But when it's more than that, less than 365 days remaining, you can do an appointment. In this instance, though, it can only be filled by special election because of the length of time left on the term that was vacated. There is no requirement in the Constitution or in any case law that the city council has any role in accepting the resignation, because it already happened, right? When that vacancy occurred, that was a resignation, right? There's no action needed by the council. That's why nothing's been brought to you to formally accept a resignation. Doesn't matter. It's already happened. So there's no need for any action by the council. And it only serves to cause confusion if we put things on an agenda before the council to take action when they have no authority to act one way or the other. So then we get to the provision of what does it mean to hold over? And there's a lot of conversation about that, and there was some conversation earlier tonight that there is no holdover. Completely inaccurate, okay? The Constitution provides for holding over. Article 16, Section 17 of the Constitution provides that all officers within the state shall continue to perform the duties of their offices until their successors shall be duly qualified, okay? And the comment made had to do with there was an incompatibility between the offices, but we're not holding both offices. This isn't a dual office holding situation. This is filing to be a candidate for an office while holding another office. You don't hold both of them. She hasn't been elected yet. She may not be. She will be, but just for the sake of argument, she may not be elected. But she's already resigned this office, and she can't withdraw it. That is accurate. She cannot change her mind once she has filed that paperwork. But the important part of it is that they're not incompatible because she doesn't hold that second office. And the Constitution specifically states that you will hold over until your successor is qualified. And why is that the case? Why is that the default? And the Attorney General has spoken to this. The purpose of this provision is to prevent vacancies in office and the consequent cessation of the functions of government. It's to preserve, we already have one vacancy. It's to preserve the fact that this government can continue. She was duly elected by her constituents. They deserve for her to continue to serve until they have an opportunity to elect her successor. And so the reason why we hold over is to preserve the functions of government. Schertz has a unique situation that you have so many council members. You do have a large council here. I have city councils where there are only 5 members. If I have 2 vacancies on a 5-member council, I have a problem, right? And so these provisions aren't written to take into account, well, if you have 9 council members or 8 council members, it works this way, it works that way. No, it works the same way across the board, and that is that you hold over until your successor is qualified. So are there any questions on holding over or on okay. The other question I had to do, that was submitted to me, had to do with what restrictions apply under the city charter, state law, or city policies to the use of city resources by a council member who's filed as a candidate for another elected office. These are the same regardless if it's another elected office. The rules that apply to each of you when you at any time you're running for even re-election to the city council. And what that says, Texas Election Code section 255003 states that an officer or employee of a political subdivision may not knowingly spend or authorize the spending of public funds for political advertising. It's pretty straightforward. There's also a penal code provision about abuse of office, but the bottom line is that no person who holds an office, a municipal office, can in any way use public funds in furtherance of their campaign, and that means staff, that means anything such as that. They also should be mindful of how they portray their role when they are campaigning, right? Y'all, I think all of y'all know that. When you're out campaigning, you're a candidate. Even if you are an incumbent, when you are campaigning, you are a candidate. You may be an incumbent, but you need to put on the candidate hat, take off that hat as a council member. Don't portray yourself in a certain fashion. There's tons of ethics opinions on that topic. But the bottom line is that the simple answer to that question is the election code addresses it, ethics opinions address it. To my knowledge, it has not been an issue for this community in the past, and I don't anticipate it being an issue. So if there's no questions for me, I'm going to gladly hand this off to the city secretary to, yes, sir.
Yeah, Councilor, I have one question. Now, I know in our city charter, it states, like you pointed out, if there is 365 days or more remaining on the term of the vacated city council position, the city council shall call for a special election, which we're going to do so, or we've already done.
You're about to do, yeah. Well, she's going to tell you when you're going to do that,
yes. Yeah. Now, my question is this, since this is so vague, and I know you had stated we have to go up to the higher level, correct? As far as the holdover.
Yeah, it's not in your charter because it's in the state constitution. Right?
So would it be invalid if we made a motion to appoint Ms. Allison into a duly elected official who has been elected?
Yeah, there's no authority to do that because it's already it's an operation of law under the Constitution that she holds over. There is no appointment. There's no appointment necessary. There's nothing such as that. The vacancy's been created. That doesn't go away, right? But the law and the Constitution provides for an automatic holding over of the person who was in that. Just like, think about it this way. When you've reached your term limit, or whatever the case, you're not running again, but you're in your seat. But there's a runoff between people to fill your seat. It doesn't matter that your term has ended. You continue to serve in that seat until that runoff is completed and they've got somebody to take your seat. It's no different, right? You're holding over in that situation. You're not appointed to fill those few weeks or that month until that runoff happens. There's no action taken by the council. You simply continue to serve until your successor is qualified. This is no different.
Gotcha.
She will continue to serve until a successor is qualified.
And just like it states, like you stated on Article 16, Section 17, all officers of the state shall continue to perform the duties of the offices until their successors shall be duly qualified, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're not doing anything that we're not supposed to.
You are not doing anything incorrect. You're not doing anything illegal. This is a legally constituted governing body for the city of Schertz. There's no action that you're taking that can be challenged otherwise.
I have a question. Council, you've been the city attorney for some time now. Has there been any history of other members holding over when they've ran for other positions within our city? This definitely cannot be the only time that we've been faced with this solution. So.
It is not the only time that anybody's held over. And in fact, we've had multiple runoffs to fill positions where folks have held over. And I believe there's been at least one other situation where there was a holdover in running for another office, so as well.
And that had to do with the city council.
That is
Schertz
correct.
City Council.
Yeah. This is not the first time, and this happens in all cities. This is not anything unique to Schertz. So,
I wanted to thank you for taking this moment because it provides clarity for everybody. I've given you different questions. You answered them great. Thank you. Because I tried to redirect it to see if there would be a different outcome, but I think you really covered the bases, and I appreciate that.
certainly, yeah. I mean, this isn't something that happens every day, so it's understandable that it could be confusing, and it's not the same across all cities because the key is what is the length of terms that y'all serve, and when does that resignation take place? So different outcomes depending on when that happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. With the resignation of Place 6, Council will need to order a special election to fill the unexpired term of Place 6. At the next council meeting, I will bring forward a resolution for Council to order a special election for the unexpired term. The special election calendar that I've worked with the Texas SOS Elections Division as well as our Guadalupe County Elections Office goes as follows. On Tuesday the 20th, I'll bring that resolution forward to Council to order the special election. The filing period for candidates will be January 21st through February 2nd. On Tuesday, February 3rd, we'll have the ballot drawing. On Wednesday, March 18th through March 31st, early voting period will apply. It'll be 8 to 5, only on weekdays, no weekend voting. Then on Saturday, April 4th, that'll be the special election day for Place 6. If everything goes as planned, we will get the ballot board results usually that weekend, and I plan to hopefully on Monday, April 13th, canvass the special election for Place 6. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So item 11 is just for discussion only, not for any action to get taken on item 11. So we'll go ahead and before we move on to requests and announcements, I do want to apologize to our Mayor Pro Tem, Mark Davis, for acknowledging him as just a council member earlier. He is our Mayor Pro Tem, so I definitely want to give him that respect. So requests and announcements. Do we have any requests or announcements by our council members? Mayor Pro Tem?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing here.
Yes, there'll be a VFW breakfast on the 24th, which is a Saturday from 8 to 11.
Thank you.
Nothing there. Nothing.
Okay. Thank you for that. Do we have any items that need to get placed on for presentation or any future council agendas? No?
Mayor, I would like to see if we can have a workshop on possibly looking at, because we're in 3 counties, making sure that we're getting all of our sales tax due from the state, because we're in 3 counties and different businesses have addresses in New Braunfels or in Cibolo or some other location, just to make sure that we're getting all the tax dollars back from the state.
Okay, are we okay with placing that workshop at the first council meeting in February?
They can take their time. I just want to bring it to our attention because I know that after going to a conference, they talked about that sometimes as cities, we're depending on the state to give us our sales tax revenue. And sometimes it's not that they do it on purpose. They just may not understand where the money needs to go. And so I just want to make sure that our city is getting all of our sales tax revenue back so that when we're budgeting, we know what we have to work with.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to comment. We do have a mechanism in place to look at that and review that. I would caution with sales tax, there are confidentiality rules that go along with that. We're not allowed to divulge certain taxpayers. So it'll be within pretty tight boundaries that we can present anything publicly.
No, I figured it would be in tight boundaries.
Okay. Any council members have any items, any events that they attended? Or go ahead, Council Member Westbrook.
Yes, Mayor. So sometime last year, I think there was a meeting between City Manager, the then Mayor Ralph Rodriguez, City Councilwoman Hayward, and City Councilwoman Michelle Watson concerning travel budget. I'm not sure if it's ever been placed on the agenda and or voted on, and are the outcomes of that meeting been discussed in open session.
Okay, can we discuss that at our next workshop as well? Is that what you're recommending?
Yes. Okay. Well, yes, that's fine. I don't know if it needs to be a workshop or just.
I think at this point, the work is done, right, Sheila? And we can bring back an action item for that? Be able to bring back an action item.
It's an action item,
Okay.
Yes, Mayor.
We'll make that an action item then. Do we have any other announcements? Having none, we'll go ahead and close the regular session. 7:07.